This documentary is brought to you by National Hmong Grave Desecration Committee, an anti-grave desecration non-profit organization.
Hmong are an ancient group of people whose cultural traditions went as far back as 4,000 years ago. Their ancestors lived in a country known as Yellow River's Kingdom in China. Their thousands of years and traditions derive from a civilization of the rice culture. It was rice that brought conflicts between the Hmong and Han Chinese. They fought for years, but the Hmong were defeated and then migrated to southern China and later to Southeast Asia, in Vietnam, Laos, Burma, and Thailand. Hmong peoples are indigenous ethnic minority to many nations in the world, known as dependable fighters to promote the great principles of unity, friendship, peace, justice, and human rights. The Hmong people fought on the side of the United States and Thailand to defend freedom and democracies in Southeast Asian region. Unfortunately, after the U.S. troops pulled out from Vietnam in 1975, the Cold War eventually has changed the Hmong world into an unforgotten history. During that period of time, more than two-thirds of the Hmong populations in Laos managed to escape and sought refuge in Thailand. While waiting in the refugee camps to be resettled in the third countries such as United States, France, Australia, and Canada. Abbot Janrun Panchan extended a warm invitation offer Wat Tham Krabak as a sanctuary to resettle the Hmong refugees. According to testifies by the Hmong refugees who resettled in Tham Krabak, Abbot Janrun Panchan issued passes and provided transportation to relocate more than 15,000 Hmong refugees directly from refugee camp to Wat Tham Krabak. During the years of a Hmong resettlement in Wat Tham Krabak, more than 2,000 Hmong passed away, and their bodies have been buried in the temple. According to testimonies by the relatives of the deceased, indicated they have sought permissions from the abbot for all burial plots. When the U.S. accepted this wave of Hmong as refugees to the U.S. in early 2004, the majority of the Hmong having reached the United States by the late 2005, the abbot ordered 3 foundations to exhume Hmong graves. There were more than 900 graves exhumed, but the government of Thailand only confirmed 691. The first round that conducted the exhumations of Hmong graves was Pautip Pawana Songkra Foundation. From October 26, 2005 to November 18, 2005, there were 480 graves exhumed, of which 206 were men, 161 were women, and 113 were children. The second round of exhumation was conducted by Bodha Drama 31 นครราชสีมา Foundation. From November 25, 2005 to December 6, 2005, there were 211 graves exhumed, of which 65 were men, 109 were women, and 37 were children. It has brought to a shock to the Hmong people throughout the world when a videotape surfaced showing Thai people conducted mass exhuming of Hmong graves at the Wat Tamkrabok. Thai people use knives to separate the body parts and remove flesh from the bone, and in some instances, the bodies were boiled in a large pot to remove the flesh. For the 3 petrified bodies that were unable to separate from the bodies, Thai people lay money on the body and worship at the grave sites, and they were taken to an unknown location for unknown purpose. Furthermore, the National Hmong Grave Desecration Committee recently learned that the coffin that's still in good conditions were also taken away from unknown purposes. The reason for the abbots to order the foundation to exhume Hmong graves: 1. To use part of the land to build religious facility. But according to the eyewitness who visited Tamkrabok recently, there is no religious facility or built. 2. The graves contaminate the water sources to the nearby village, but there is no evidence supporting this defense. If the water sanitation was truly a concern, the flesh would have not been discarded. 3. Hmong did not have permission from the abbot or the Wat Tamkrabok administrative to bury the dead. But according to the relatives of the deceased, every grave has been permitted and approved by the abbot. After this unexpected grave desecration incident, the Hmong community leaders in the United States have taken leadership action by appealing to the attention of the United States government and the United Nations for commencement of a dialogue with the Royal Thai government to resolve this painful incident. The Thai Foundation actions clearly show an act of discrimination and barrier treatment against Hmong people and a culture, tradition, and religious beliefs. The Thai people also violated the right to the family, violate the right to culture and religion, violate the right to be free from discrimination, violate the right to manifest beliefs. On June 2, 2006, the Special Rapporteur's action brought a stop further exhumations of Hmong graves at Wat Tamkrabok. September 2007, the first delegation was sent to Thailand for fact-finding and to ask the government of Thailand for assistance and to seek support from the U.S. Embassy and the abbot of Wat Tham Krabok.
จะเชื่อมโยงกับเรื่องของทางวัดได้หรือไม่อย่างไรอันนั้นไม่น่าจะเป็นเรื่องภาระของมูลนิธิท่านต้องติดต่อทางวัดเองว่าทางวัดจะสามารถจัดที่ให้ท่านเก็บอัฐิตรงนี้ได้หรือไม่อย่างไรแต่ในช่วงที่เมื่อท่านดำเนินการพร้อมสัตว์ต้องการที่จะเคลื่อนอัฐิตรงนี้ไปนะครับมูลนิธิยินดีที่จะดำเนินการส่งมอบให้นะครับเพราะตอนนี้เก็บไว้เรียบร้อยไม่ได้มีการเผามีอะไรนะครับ
The delegation met with the government of Thailand and the foundation that involved and were able to view the 211 bodies remaining that were stored underground in massive concrete containers at the Hulen Cemetery. November 25th to December 6, 2007, a second delegation was sent to talk to the abbot of Wat Tham Krabok to ask his permission to rebury the remaining back in Wat Tham Krabok.
ซึ่งเขามาหาความร่วมยืนมาหาความปกป้องและหลวงพ่อเองก็มีจิตใจเอื้ออาทรและปกป้องเขามาโดยตลอดแม้เขาจะสิ้นชีวิตไปแต่ดวงวิญญาณเขายังถือว่าหลวงพ่อ
Because of Hmong culture, traditions, and religious beliefs, when a person deceased and buried, the ground became his or her home. Hmong consider graveyard to the sacred site disinter and destroy the graves will cause spiritual harm to the living relative of future generation. Our organization continued to ask for 1. That the Thai Foundation return the 3 petrified bodies back to the living relative without cost. 2. We ask that the Foundation return the 691 bodies without cost. We're working collaborative with United Nations, federal and state level elected official, organization and institution, the University of Minnesota Human Rights Programs.
And our debt freedom.
The government of Thailand has not been receptive to any of our requests in this Hmong exhumations situation, and it remains a critical issue to the relative of the deceased and to Hmong communities worldwide. We see our issues remain unsolved, and we have great challenges ahead. As a human being, the right to one culture's traditions and religion, and the right to be free from both living and after death are of the most important wishes our Hmong people want to have. This goal of saving and safeguarding our rights as a human being and religious beliefs is highly important to us, and we believe it is also important to any human beings of any cultural traditions as well. We hope that you and people of other cultural background share in our perspective view of life and death. Both physical body and spirit shall remain happy whether dead or alive. It is very important and necessary for our Hmong communities worldwide to be free from spiritual harm. These conditions thus will enhance of a Hmong community and contributive members in whichever society we live.